In this self-defense training video, you're gonna learn 5 ways to hit somebody with your walking stick for self-defense. We're gonna use 2 different lengths. One is a 36-inch walking stick. The other is more like a hiking stick. It's 54 inch. Doesn't matter what you have, you can use a broomstick. Just follow me. I'm gonna be starting with the shorter length, which is 36 inches. This is an oak dowel I picked up from the hardware store, sanded it, put some oil on it. It's 1.25 inches. You're gonna start with your hand on the top. Slide your hand down the front of the walking stick and bring it into the other hand. This is the first way you're gonna hit somebody for self-defense with your walking stick. You're going to do a thrusting motion, and when you thrust, I want you to go right through his face or his throat or his solar plexus. You're gonna ask yourself, what targets can you remove or destroy? His ability to see or breathe temporarily, permanently through the throat. His ability to stand upright and breathe. Go right into the groin. You're gonna take that away from him for self-defense. So again, your hand slides down the front, you bring it up here, and you simply thrust. If you have a target, hit the target. If you don't have a target, do that thrusting motion in the air. Start here, pick it up, thrust, go back to your starting position. Do it for 30 seconds with one hand, and then switch. Always do everything. Both hands. Become ambidextrous with your self-defense training. Using the hiking staff, you're gonna do the same thrust, but to get in that position, you're gonna point your thumb at the threat, and that's gonna pop it up into your back hand. So if we say this is the threat, I'm facing the threat, I have a stick between me and the threat, I wanna remove his ability to see me, so I'm gonna pop it in the back hand, and when I thrust with the hiking stick, I have to slide it through my hand a little bit, sort of like a pull cue. Thrust, striking right through the middle. And again, you want to do this 30 seconds per side, putting your right side, right foot forward, aim, add that distance, slide it through a little bit, thrust right into his face. Do that slow at first, gradually picking up your speed, a little faster, 30 seconds, switch, get in the other hand, point the thumb, and thrust. 30 seconds on both sides. Second way you're gonna hit somebody with your walking stick is going to be another thrust. This time you're gonna slide your hand down the back side of the cane. We did this first, now we're coming here. That's gonna put this tip right here aiming forward, and you're simply gonna punch right to his face. Again, what can you remove or destroy? Ability to see, breathe permanently, stand up, stick it right in his solar plexus. Go down and into the groin. Start with it in your hand, slide it down, and thrust. Stepping with the thrust will make it more powerful and allow you to drive through the target and knock the target far away from you. This is a single-handed thrust. Over and over in one hand, put it in the other one, practice another 30 seconds on the other side. Hiking staff is the same thrust. You're already in the right position. No need to slide your hand, just up and straight in. Think about what happens when that hard piece of hickory smashes right through their face. Now, I made that walking stick. You can make your own short walking stick. If you want something like this is made by Cane Masters. It's that first link below. You can see what that's made out of. The third way you're gonna hit somebody for self-defense with your walking stick is going to be a chopping or slashing motion. Starting with your hand on the top, you're gonna go down the front like you did with the first strike, and you're just gonna bring it up into the other hand, almost like you're holding a baseball bat. This is how you'll hold a baseball bat though, and we don't want to create a pivot point when you strike. So your hands are always going to be apart about the width of your shoulder. Now, if we say this is the threat, I bring this up, I have the stick between myself and the threat, that's always good. You can lead with the thrust, that's always a great idea. And then that second strike, that's my left hand coming to my left shoulder and strike. If you want, you can then switch it into the other hand and strike with the other side, striking one, striking two. You're simply sliding your hands across from each other. They're always in contact with your staff or your walking stick as you're practicing, as you're defending yourself, and go through the target. Hiking staff, it's the same type of strike. You're gonna come down at that angle. Point your thumb to the threat. You can again thrust to keep them off. That gives you some room here you're gonna pull your hand here. Either way, you can allow it to slide through your hand as you're pulling to your shoulder, giving you more striking room. You wanna keep them as far away as you can, and then strike through. Keeping distance between yourself and the bad guy is always a great idea. From here, simply drive forward, smashing through, and then change your hand grip. This is a way that's unique to a longer staff or a longer fighting stick. You're gonna change your hand grip like this. Try that strike with the other side. Change and strike, change and strike. Notice that I'm stepping in, increasing the power of the strike and coming forward. I can even go longer, bringing my hand down to the end and create a massive amount of distance between myself and the threat. Always follow through with your strike. Fourth way I want you to practice hitting somebody with your walking stick for self-defense will be sliding your hand down the back. Now I'm showing you sliding down the front and sliding down the back, but all these techniques can be done pretty much the same way. You'll figure it out as you train more, watch more of these videos. Here, you're gonna slide it down, simply bring it into the other hand, and notice that I have an alternating grip, or I have palms that are facing each other. They're like this in this position so that I can now punch with that back hand. And as I punch, I'm gonna slide this hand to the front, and I'm gonna slide that hand along the back as it goes forward, and that's pushing while I'm turning my shoulders and hips. Anytime you get your shoulders and your hips into a strike, you have knockout power, devastating power for self-defense. You're gonna start here, your hand slides down the back, get it to the other hand, allow this to start to come forward. The more you practice, the more it will become instinctive for you. You'll do it without thinking about it. Slide down, lift it up, and punch. Straight through. Imagine all the force that that's gonna generate coming through someone's jaw or temple for self-defense, or into the neck for self-defense, or into one of the joints that will break easily against this hard piece of wood. As I lift this up into this back hand, creating that distance between myself and the threat, I can thrust and push them off, and then bring it back and forward. And again, turning the shoulders and the hips as I strike this through. And the nice thing is you can slide your hand down and come the other way. Either way, you're gonna create a massive amount of power. In fact, I practice both, and you should always practice both sides evenly too. The fifth way that you're gonna hit somebody with your walking stick or your hiking staff for self-defense is very simple and basic, just like the first four. But this is by no means an exhaustive list. There's so many things I'm gonna teach you on how to use a hiking stick, a walking stick, a longer staff, two short sticks, a palm stick, a kubaton, whatever it is. When you learn how to fight with sticks, you always keep it simple, and we will always start with what works first. Start with it in this position. You're going down the front like you did the last time. You're gonna lift it up like you're about to do some push-ups with it. From here, they're closing the distance, they're coming in really fast, and you're just gonna blast them. Right in the face, two hands with a shoving motion. This oak is gonna go right through, smashing the nose, the teeth, the throat, into the chest. And then from there, I always like to practice punching right, left, using the ends of the staff to smash their ears, their head, or force them back because they don't want to get hit. So again, your hand is in the front, you put it down here. This is great if their hands are even on you. If they've already closed the distance, they're choking, they're grabbing, they're holding your body. Bring it up and over their hands, pull them in, and then shove. You will generate so much force for self-defense. After that shove, box their ears, hit them hard, hit them fast, and then thrust. Go back to the beginning and knock them off. Hiking staff is a little different, but it's just as powerful, if not more powerful, because you're gonna put it in the other hand, you're gonna shove in here first, box them in the ears, all same technique, and there's that thrust, almost like a bayonet attack. You can even smash down on their head, come through that angular strike. Maybe you go down to the knees, pop them really fast. In the fight for self-defense, it all works when you keep it simple. Any question about how to use either one of these, the martial arts Jo or the martial arts Hanbo, or a short walking stick or a hiking staff, Put those in the comment section below. Let me know what works for you, what doesn't work, what you need some clarification on. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. I'd like to really grow this channel. And thank you to all of you who have joined either here on YouTube or on Patreon. Your support allows me to grow this channel, to keep this channel going. And if you need any more information on one of my favorite weapons of all time, this almost unbreakable Hickory Joe staff, check the link below.